Welcome here, day one competition, second stop on the 2024 NXL Tour. And we're here at the Lone Star Major. First set is about to go down. I'm Matty Marshall alongside Paintball legends Rich Telford and Todd Martinez. And we're getting a really good set here to start out this tournament. Infamous taking on Tampa Bay Damage and Houston Heat and Uprising. So Todd, we'll start with you. Infamous and Damage. Damage did not make Sunday at the first event, which we traditionally do not see them in early morning games. We always see them play on Sundays. But they had a bit of a stumble, so they're going to be out for blood here at this one. Infamous's lineup looks dialed. What are your thoughts on this matchup?
I really think it's hard to keep good teams down. Infamous is definitely going to be a good test to start off the weekend for them, but it's hard to see Damage play like the way that they played last event. And, you know, those funky layouts, you know how that can get sometimes, even though they did win the one that was like that. I think we're going to see Damage rebound drastically over here, but you know, I did hear a lot of really good things about Infamous. Infamous is a team that is always contending. They can play with all the good teams. And, you know, when it gets rainy and wet out here, Infamous loves those dirty, grimy conditions.
Well, 100%. I remember a lot of those games back in the day. Infamous was real good in these situations, especially if it starts to rain. But Tampa Bay Damage from Florida used to playing in the rain as well. Now, Rich, also interesting with this Damage and Infamous lineup or matchup is that the last game that Damage did lose at the first event in Vegas was against Infamous. It was a 1-3 loss. So they need to avenge that to get a good start to this tournament. Talk to me about what Damage needs to do on this layout, and the layout specifically.
Damage needs to survive the breakouts against Infamous, obviously. They need to kind of stem the tides because Infamous is going to attack up the middle once the tapes get shut down. And just play Damage ball, man. Like, they've got a healthy squad. I talked to Joey this morning. First time they've been healthy in like 2 years. So he's like, not only do I have 5 or 6 healthy, I got 10 healthy guys, Rich. He's like, I'm super confident. So I think it's going to be a really good match. I think stylistically, Infamous is going to attack. Damage is going to counterpunch, and I think it should be a good match.
And it looks like starting lineup, at least according to Joey, as of Monday, was Keith Brown, the Edwards brothers, Jacob and Jason, Chad Bougier, and Rainey Stanzik. And we're about to getting close to jumping into point number one. You can see the layout there on your screen. Really long snake on the bottom of your screen. Runs almost the entire length of the field, so it could be snake side, strong side. Starting out point number one. Looks like Damage initially going to triple up that back center, but they release Rainey up into that middle of the field, and on a nice secondary, he gets right into that wedge at the 50-yard line.
5 alive for both teams, Matty.
A little bit of a more standard break here for Infamous as Rainey is going to get chopped up trying to get across, and it's going to be a one-body advantage for Infamous starting from the red side.
Man, Damage attacking early. You don't see that early on for Damage a lot where they, you know, come out hot and fast up the middle.
Yeah, Infamous, the first one to try and make it wide out here on the snake side, getting Zach Patient there alive, and now he can control that tape with Rainey Stanzak walking off. He's got Keith Brown in the snake tower, and he can just wrap the outside of that and try and keep him in that spot and help somebody come across and get in the snake.
Man, can't wait to see these snake matchups here this tournament. And for this specific game, it looks like the Zach Patient versus Keith Brown, both hyper-aggressive, very experienced players that have been successful in the pro league. Looks like Patient is going to launch and get into snake one. Looks like, is that Brusselback getting out behind him? Yeah, so Tim Brusselback going to filter out. And then filtering up the field, Callie Rudolph, he's going to hit the deck. It's that Hertz brick. And looks like, yeah, Damage is, again, attacking that middle. As another body dropping right now, but so LA Infamous is going to even up the count.
4 on 4.
No one on that D side. Callie Rudolph looking that way. He gets stitched up as he wraps around. Great job by Chad Bougier. Bougier is going to launch down that D side.
Yep.
Matty, and that is how quickly a game can open up. You lose one guy, Chad Bougier breaks through that Dorito side and takes out 3 bodies.
Chad's going to come all the way around. He's going to go right past the buzzer. Doesn't even want to hit the buzzer. He wants to get that kill. Trying to find Patient in the snake, and Patient's going to get chicken winged here by Chad Bougier. Beautiful job.
I love that. Don't hit that buzzer. I'm not out here to hit buzzers. I'm here to shoot people.
Well, we were talking about, you know, in our pre-show that we did, Todd, and everyone's been discussing this, how this field's going to play, and we're going to see a lot of points stolen on the D side. Sure enough, point number one here at this tournament, Chad Bougier steals the point from the D side.
Well, Joey also said that he picked 5 as the over-under on buzzers being hit with bodies still being alive, and I think he's trying to manipulate that over-under right now because Chad very well could have gone over and hit that buzzer.
He gave him the signal.
Yeah. He's like, oh, no, man, I got money on this.
Todd, in practice, did you find it was easier to shoot the snake corner out or the guy going for the snake on the break?
To me, it was the same.
Same shot?
Yeah, we didn't do a great job of shooting either one of those guys. We were like 50-50 on both of them. Us running there, you know, kind of the same thing. But, I mean, I'm really excited, you know, being an afternoon session guy this week,
yeah,
you know, to see kind of what the numbers look like here.
So now taking the field here, Houston Heat and Seattle Uprising really like Heat's chances on a layout like this. They've been very successful historically since forming in 2012, multiple-time world champs. A little bit of change in their coaching squad as we got Tom Martinez up here. He's coaching Shock now. Ryan Smith retired to coach. They don't like picking up new players. Connor Kelly, really the only pickup that they've had past few years. And, also Uprising's had their solid core for years as well, too. Uprising's going to be in the black. Looks like we got a little bit of a technical timeout here. So Uprising starting from the blue side, and the murdered out jerseys all black, and then Houston Heat in their blue and red traditional jerseys. Looks like Chad George is going to be healthy and first attacker on this snake side. No surprise there.
Yeah, him and Kelly's a nice little two-person package over there.
Yeah, Todd, break that down. Obviously, you got a lot of experience as you've coached in the past couple of years. Connor Kelly, Chad George in the snake. Break that duo down.
Well, we know Chad George is a Hall of Fame snake player, right? Chad George has been doing this for over a decade. I remember the first time I saw him, I really didn't like him because we just couldn't stop him from going to the snake. We were playing against him, and he's just been doing that since 2007, 2008-ish, right? So he's been doing this for almost 2 decades. Connor Kelly, young, bright talent, one of the coolest kids I know. He can play the 1, he can play the 2, he talks really well, very dynamic, reads situations very well, very intelligent kid. Having those 2 guys, it really gives you the option of which guy you want to send up. You can use guys, you can use one of them to, give the other one a breather, and bring another body over as the 2, say a Tyler Harmon. But, having those 2 guys together, it gives you 2 options that are both really fast, very smart, and very aggressive.
Yeah, starting line put in by Houston Heat looks like Chad Boucher, Chad George, Connor Kelly, Konstantin Fedorov, and Mishka Kesnev. And then for Uprising, looks like Graham Arnold, Borromeo, Joel Eaton, Scotty Knight, and Brandon Olson. Oh, it looks like Dizon's going to get the start.
Dizon and Monville.
Yeah, we're having the pro teams put their starting rosters in. Those were as of Monday. But there's always a practice before the event, and sometimes things change in that practice, Rich.
One of the things I haven't seen in a long, long time is Tyler Harmon on the bench for the first point of the match for Houston Heat. That's a very interesting call.
Yeah, Tyler has played the lion's share of the points, and rightfully so. When we did the All-Star voting,
on the field.
2 years ago, he was the top vote getter along with Ryan Greenspan. I think he was 2 votes behind Ryan. So it looks like
That's
we are
just because Ryan voted twice.
going to jump into point number 1, Uprising on the blue side with our eye in the sky. Drone shot, Houston Heat pushing the issue in the middle a little bit faster. Body dropping early for Uprising.
Yeah, out of the back center, Matt.
They do get outside wide on that D side and a little wide snake side getting to the tower, but here comes pushing the issue as Konstantin Fedorov glides in. Another body drops for Uprising. It's a 5-on-3 situation. Man, those are some tough deaths out of the back center here for Uprising.
There's a back shot, a really bad bounce shot in the back center.
And another one coming off for Uprising from that D1. So the body's getting whittled down for Uprising, is swarming up the field. Houston Heat, though,
52.
being smart. Yeah, getting that cross-field communication so important on every field.
Yeah, Heat here with 5 bodies, all the positions. Only 1 player left for Uprising. He's in the snake corner. This point is academic. It's going to go to Heat.
Uprising, man, they've been putting the work in, though. They flew down to Southern California to train against Aftermath and Dynasty on a non-layout.
Oh,
weekend. Nice
job, guys.
Yeah, so they are really trying to turn their story around, and they've had that core together. It's a very talented core. They've proven they can beat all the top teams. It's just they haven't been able to string the consistency together needed to make a lot of Sundays the past couple seasons.
Well, and the middle of the pack teams are taking it more seriously, right? They're getting those double practices in, and they're putting a lot more pressure on the top teams, and I think that's why it's become such a competitive 20 teams, right? Or at least 16 teams or something.
We only had 1 team not win a game, and it was one of AC Diesel at the first event.
Yeah.
So out of 20 professional teams, only 1 team didn't win an event, and it's the team with one of the highest paid rosters. So that's another one of the really fascinating stories that's going to be going down actually starting in the next set with Diesel taking on Notorious.
Yeah, and I actually really love the addition of Tyler Michaud to the coaching staff of Seattle Uprising. Longtime pro, he's from the Northwest, got connections up there, and having a guy who's won at the highest level definitely can always help your team.
Jumping into point number 2 with Infamous and Tampa Bay Damage. Looks like Russell back going to be getting shot, trying to make it up to that middle. They do get patient into the snake.
Hard bounce going in there, though, Matty.
Yeah,
they did shoot him. It just bounced.
So, yeah, the shots are definitely locked in here for Damage, but it is a 5-on-4 situation with that bounce on Patient, and he is alive in Snake 1. Rainey has launched on a secondary to get up to that Hertz brick, but Infamous also pushing the issue up in that middle at the wedge on the D side.
Yeah, I'd like Zach Patient to go. He's pressing now. He's going forward now. Man, Zach just took a bounce off the goggles. Oh, it did not bounce. Caught him dropping forward. 55 on 3. Oh, Jason Edwards getting eliminated from Tampa Bay damage. 4 on 3 advantage for Tampa Bay.
Well, Infamous snuck into D3 on that top side to give their center player a little support here, and they do have a body
at the wing
out wide here, snake side, but those mini walls, those wings are in set.
Keith Brown now into the snake for Tampa Bay damage.
Yeah, and Keith can just crawl right down because that back corner can't really protect him. Looks like that's Callie Rudolph back there, and he knows he's in a low body situation, so he had to be over the top of that bunker to try to protect his front player up in that middle, and he gets clipped.
We're gonna see if Keith Brown knows where Ryan Hall is over in that Dorito Tower. Rainey's coming to get him right now. Rainey clears out Ryan Hall in the middle. Chad Bougere off to the races again.
Tampa's definitely playing with a chip on their shoulder. You can tell they're a little heated out there.
Yeah, they're going to go up 2-0. And again, if you are just joining us, thank you so much for joining us here. Best paintball teams in the world throwing down. But Infamous won the last engagement that these two teams had. It was the last game in Vegas. It knocked Damage out of the tournament.
6 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, they went 1-3. So
it's crazy how the two teams, based on those 6 weeks of practice or whatever, and the layout, like how it can be so different than it was in Vegas, right?
yeah, Vegas was an unconventional layout. It was interesting, though, because Damage did so well on the unconventional layout 2 years ago in Texas, winning that tournament, their first win in about a decade, and then they had 2 wins in a row last year. But, yeah, they just couldn't really figure it out. So, but this is, again, much more traditional layout. Tampa Bay Damage thrives in situations like this, and like you said, playing with a big chip on their shoulder.
Uprising has to survive the breakout here, guys, right? There's no way that they're going to beat Heat down on bodies. Lost a body the first game. They keep 5 along this game. Looks like they might have shot Tyler Harmon, and it looks like Chad George gets a penalty. So 5-on-2 advantage here early on for Uprising.
Yeah, first penalty of the tournament, assessed on Houston Heat.
Didn't take long.
Yeah, but 3 bodies coming off. So 1 pulled on the penalty, and Tyler, I believe, got shot trying to get into snake.
Yeah, he got shot going in, and then whoever's behind him got the penalty, either Chad or...
These are the moments that Uprising can't squander. When you have a big break like this, you're playing a top team in Houston Heat, and you have a big high body situation, got to close out.
Yeah. And all the guys are walking off you past the field, on your side of the pit, so you know for sure that it's 5-on-3.
Well, this is why Uprising has confidence, because they've played good teams and just decimated people on the break.
Their breakouts are amazing, right?
Yeah, I mean, they can be. Sometimes they're not, but, I mean, they do have that capability to shoot multiple guys on the break.
They lose 1, they lose 2.
But, on the closeout here.
5-on-2 to a 3-on-2, guys.
Oh, and a penalty pull, too. So
now it's a 2-on-2. Yeah, Uprising's probably going to lose this point.
We'll see. Borromeo closing up the middle, looking around, he sees the chaos that set in. They do clip out. Ryan Moorhead, I believe, was in D1. And it looks like it was a 1-on-2 situation in favor of Uprising, but Uprising came close to squandering that big high body situation. You're going to get a talking to from Tyler.
Yeah.
New coach Tyler Michaud.
But this is the thing about the difference between good teams and, not so good to bad teams. Is that when you have a 5-on-2, you shouldn't lose 3 bodies on the close.
No.
The most you should lose is 1 body.
Just calm down, do recon real quick.
Yeah, see, this is, let's listen in real quick to Uprising's pits.
And then Moorhead was in the Seattle. I saw him in Monster, you heard me yell it, right? You heard me yell Monster at the end. Uprising. I confirmed I heard you. Yeah. Did you hear me asking for the recon?
Yeah. Mikey, Shane, on coach, okay? Scotty, Graham, Brandon, Shane, Mikey. Okay. Hello, boys. Yo, guys, on Tyler, okay? Scotty, Graham, Brandon, Shane, Mikey.
Coach Omrod.
Right here. Pause.
I got you, Graham.
Calling the next line. So we'll see if Infamous answers here. Down by 2 early to Tampa Bay. Points have gone pretty quick, so a lot of time still in regulation. Damage on the blue side. Infamous on the red side. 5-on-5 break.
Yeah, good break for both teams. Infamous does get outside. They lose their first attack here on the snake side. Big bite to the 400, Matt.
All the way up into D4 for Infamous, and he makes it clean. That's going to put the pressure here on Tampa Bay, and they start screaming bloody murder.
But the Infamous loses another body, Matty. 5-on-3 advantage for Tampa Bay Damage.
Infamous pushing that D side with that early big move all the way to D4, and then get a body out to D1. He's going to go, looks like Barrett's going to march right into D3, but they lose Ryan Hall.
52, Matty. 5 for Damage, 2 for Infamous. Big advantage here for Damage. Already up 2 points.
Damage still stuck in the pocket, but with a really high body situation, doing all the work with their guns here, Todd, just shooting those bodies out wide snake side.
Yeah, absolutely. When you see your guy go down that side really quickly and get into that D3, D4, you just got to stay alive and let him go to work for a second over here. But Nobody on the snake side. Rainey, Keith.
41.
They're going to come down the snake side, start wrapping on. They get one. And the last body, Joe Barrett's going to get taken out of that Dorito 3. He's going to walk off.
And you see Sam Silberg and Joe Barrett turning around and looking at their snake side, probably thinking,
What happened?
Kind of what you just called it. What went on over there? We're in. You got Silberg in D4. Barrett made a nice fill to get out wide and to get up with them. So the second attacker close to the first attacker, and then just lost everybody else.
Yeah. I mean, the first one was Patient, right? Zach Patient died.
Yep.
But was that, you said Silberg was
Yeah, I
up
think it
there?
was Sam up there.
Silberg had already made the move, right?
Yeah, and
then-
they had 4 guys alive when he made the move.
On the break, right? Yeah, they went.
Bresselback, he needed to stay alive there. Ryan Hall was in that center small temple on the snake side, locking off, keeping Keith from coming this way. Just let your guy, give him a minute. See if he can make something happen.
Yeah, especially now going down 3-0 with players in great positions and just bad survivability middle and on that snake side for Infamous. They're going to need to tighten things up. All evened up at 1, Uprising and Houston Heat.
That's the breakout right there that Houston Heat just did. That's the most common breakout you're going to see this weekend. Or one outside. Connor Kelly taking an early walk for Houston Heat. Tyler Harmon having to fill back from the center temple into the stand-up tower snake side. 4-on-5 advantage for Uprising.
Yeah, Uprising making out wide to D1. Looks like the tower wants to get out wide snake side too. He's going to fight and get out wide and makes it
Ryan
clean.
Moorhead.
Ryan Moorhead taking the walk from the South Electronics bunker. Here comes Olsen attacking the middle in this 5-on-3 situation.
Tyler Harmon with the great fill out to the corner and then into the snake mat. I'm not sure if they saw him go in or not.
Yeah, Uprising is wide on that Dorito side there. In the Dorito 1 looking inside and now make a move up the middle. Olsen, he's going to come over here and try and lock off that snake side.
Uprising just puts 2 in the snake.
Oh, double up the snake.
The old
not a
double up the
tactic.
snake 1 technique.
Not a tactic we've seen yet
I
today.
I don't know if they know Tyler is in Snake 2 right now.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if they saw him go.
I
or
don't
not.
think they did either, Rich. So
See if
now
Tyler can
Snake
sneak
1
the
and
kills.
Snake 2 for Uprising. They got to know that Tyler's there. Oh, and Tyler wins the gunfight.
Do not gunfight Tyler Harmon.
Yeah.
He has Mikey Daniel taking the walk. Shane Howe still alive in there.
He must be new. Nobody told him, hey, don't get into a snap shooting battle with Tyler Harmon.
You don't gunfight Tyler Harmon, Barytnikov, or Weaver. All those guys' snaps are so good, just it's not worth it.
You know who's getting there too? Arturo.
Yeah, Arturo, and honestly, Keith Brown has a mean little snap too. Like you get one snap, right? You shot one and shoot. If you don't kill him, you hide and start screaming, "Help! Help! He's right in front of me!"
Man, you had some names up there, and then you went Weaver for number 3, huh?
We just
He's
practiced against
he's
him
earned
last
some
weekend.
respect pretty quick, huh?
And with broken paint, he was one-balling us out at practice. It was super frustrating. I was like, just give me a gun. Give me a gun. Let me show you.
Let's talk about Elliot Weaver from Revo. We'll see him later on. So right now, Uprising trying to put this together. Even with that death, even a 4-on-3 situation here, and in pretty good position.
These are positions.
Yeah, 43, 4-on-3 advantage for Uprising. Uprising out on the D side. Houston Heat zoned up with one in the tower, one in the Dorito can, and Tyler Harmon and Snake 2.
Yeah, Uprising D1 and D2. And Olsen still actually did a little tactical retreat to get back to the Hertz brick on his side. Oh, and looks
Bad
like
death.
Here comes
Sam
Sam Monville losing a gunfight.
Very rare that he gets shot in that situation. Tyler Harmon, if they win this point, it's because Tyler Harmon was able to make the fill to the corner, fill to the snake, and then get that crucial kill.
Listen, if you're going to have 2 bodies left on the field, Tyler Harmon and Ronnie Dizon are not 2 bad guys to have.
No, for sure.
These guys have won multiple low body situations. I've witnessed it firsthand. If there's 2 guys that are going to talk to each other, work together, and win gunfights, it's these 2
Just
guys.
really,
right here.
really smart and good gunfighters, right?
But-
good gunfighting and smart.
As we talked about in that first point, or second point, if you're going to close and if you're going to be a good team, as Uprising hopes to be, you need to close these situations.
Yeah.
Up bodies.
And Shane Howe just needs to go trade out with Tyler, right? It's a 3-on-1.
You're up bodies. You have position.
Yeah.
There's a lot of time to work with, too.
Yeah.
It's still 9:39 on
Yeah,
the
it's either
clock.
3-on-2 or 4-on-2. If Shane can just go up and trade out with Tyler when he's shooting inside, they can win this point because it'll be a 3-on-1 with Ronnie in that can. But Shane's just been waiting for that perfect snapshot. And again, you're not really looking to snap fight with Tyler Harmon, right? Like, that's a not winning scenario.
Yeah, Tyler's hoping to bait Shane into a snapshot
Exactly.
battle.
Right.
Because if you're in a low body situation, you're hoping you have to.
You're looking for gunfights.
Yeah, you don't want to get shot in the side. Okay, they do lose Ronnie. I mean, Ronnie was gunfighting out of that can. That can's kind of a tough spot to be in.
Yeah, if they're outside on both tapes, it's tough.
So it looks like they are going to concede the point to save Tyler the pain. It was a 4-on-1.
Yeah, but they were up on score. I'm surprised they didn't let at least another 30 seconds.
1-1.
Sorry.
Yeah, 1-1.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'll give credit to Olsen. I've seen Olsen win some pretty nice snap shooting fights too, and They also had Graham Arnold over there as well. So executing that 4-on-2, that's what you got to do if you're Uprising. There's Olsen right there.
Yeah, Uprising at the last event, they beat Fit in a 1-point game, but they lost to Revo, lost to Heat, and lost to the ML Kings. Ended up with a -6 on the point differential with 16th place. And again, Tampa Bay damaged with a 13th at the last event, trying to avenge their loss to Infamous. Loss that knocked them out of the tournament. And damage is looking nothing but fabulous right now. Just perfect through 3.
Keith Brown, snake break on the break, Matty.
Yeah, still got the wheels. They're doubling up that back center here for Tampa Bay. As Infamous, with still a lot of time left, 10:26 on the clock, but a lot of ground to make up.
5-on-5, Matty.
Yeah, attacking up that middle, getting to the Hertz brick early.
Keith Brown now snake 2, now snake 3. Keith Brown to snake 4.
He's got some help with Smith.
Yeah, Smith moves right next to him. Infamous with 2 players up the middle.
Infamous does make it out to the snake corner.
Smith just found the player at the wedge. He didn't know he was there. Player at the wedge missed his shot, so he's going to go back and get with Ryan Hall.
I like that. You have to be proactive in there. Once they catch you, you just reposition, go to a different spot.
Here comes
Jacob.
Jacob's going to try to drop the hammer, but the body's no longer there. It forces the reaction, though, so he does end up getting a trade.
I saw a lot of guys trying to make that jump over the beam and get somebody moved last weekend in practice, and it's tougher than it looks. That guy repositions so fast, a lot of times you go get him, he's not there anymore.
4-on-4 situation.
Infamous taking the snake now in snake 1. Damage in the Dorito can. Jason Edwards, he's going to fill out to the snake corner behind Keith Brown, try and help him get around.
Just made the move across here for Infamous on the right-hand side of your screen, getting out of that Hertz brick to protect this snake a little bit better. Keith Brown getting in a gunfight, patient down the sideline. They both check each other back in.
Yeah.
4-on-4 here.
I wonder if Jason Edwards made that move because he saw Ryan Hall come across to that small brick over here on the snake side. But Chad Bougere looking across the middle from the Dorito side. Now he's just trying to live from Zach Patient.
Yeah, he's just hiding over there, right? Island ball. Doesn't even have his gun. Oh, now he brings his gun up, but he was so tight over there, he didn't have his gun up for a little bit. Good fill out to the D side there from Infamous. Went from the back center to the D side can.
Yeah,
Very pivotal spot on that side.
Brian Smith does have a big gap from the Dorito 1 to the Dorito 2 that he's looking across the field through that center structure. That's what he's trying to keep Infamous from coming down that Dorito side.
Well, if you're Tampa Bay, they probably wouldn't mind burning a little clock off. They know Infamous has to push into them. They're down by 3. There's 8 minutes and 10 seconds left. If Tampa Bay can, get a couple more minutes off this and somehow win this point, go up 4-0, maybe 5-6 minutes left, that's the best case scenario for damage.
Well, and Infamous at this point probably wants long, slow points anyway, right? So if they're going to lose, their margin is as little as it can.
That is a good point. Margin is so crucial. You get 4 games to work with in the prelims, and if you take a big loss, you have to get that back with a big win, because going to try to, we cut the field in half moving on to Sunday. Only the top 10 move on, and you need to be 2-2 with a positive point differential to have a chance. So, yeah, spread is very important for Infamous. They can't lose a big one here. They have to go blow somebody out and get a huge, victory, like a 6-1 or something with the high numbers. That's just difficult to do in this league right now.
Yeah,
7:23 on the clock.
The game is definitely slowed down here.
And
Both of these teams.
Yeah, and this is the bracket of death. Bracket C with Legion, Infamous, Notorious, Damage, and Diesel. This is a tough one. It's arguably the hardest bracket here out of the 4 brackets.
And Infamous gets through on that Dorito side.
Great reposition there from Smith to cancel that out.
So Infamous now at D3.
Both teams playing very methodically here, right? Nobody really shooting their guns a ton, not making any big moves, just really playing good controlled team paintball, communicating, making sure that all the zones are covered. I like Jason there over the top of Snake 1, talking to Keith, talking to Agent Smith.
Oh, and it looks like Smith to get the kill.
Yep.
He did. So beautiful job by Brian Smith to get that kill on D3.
He spent a lot of time out here walking the field yesterday all by himself, just looking at the angles, looking at the spots.
Looking like somebody's grandpa with his glasses on. That guy can play, though, man. He's been doing this for years.
Yeah.
He wants to retire. He's tried to retire so many times, but Joey just
They
says,
just won't
"Nope,
let him.
you're
They
not
just won't
allowed
let him.
to."
It's like Chad, too. Chad Bougier.
Yeah.
Keeps trying to retire. And they're like, no, man. can't
Sorry,
retire
bro.
yet.
We know where you live.
Still got it.
You gonna move? Because if you move, maybe. But we know where you live. We're gonna come pick you up on Saturday and Sunday, regardless.
Yeah, this point is kind of going exactly how you would draw it up if you're Tampa Bay Damage. Try to get the win, get a really long point. Infamous, 5:55 on the clock, down 3. But like we were talking about, if they do take a loss here, really can't lose a big one when you are in the bracket of death. And it's going to be no easy games, most likely, in this bracket. But look at the bounce shot here on Keith. So Keith Brown taking the walk from Snake 4. That might have been a bounce shot.
So frustrating when you get shot in those bounce shots.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm not really counting that as a death. 3-on-3 here, right, Maddie? Both teams with one in Snake 1. Damage with the Hertz bunker in the center with Agent Smith, and Chad over there in the can on the D side. Looks like Zach and the Snake for Infamous.
Well, with the death of Keith from that bounce shot out of the Snake.
Did you see where it came off of?
It was coming off of the mini wall here,
Okay, yeah.
and I couldn't see because the player for Infamous moved into D3, but I think he was in D2 when that bounce shot. That's at least what it looked like.
I think that's Callie Rudolph over there. Callie Rudolph now.
In the 4, right?
Yep.
Yeah, but with that death of Keith, it gives a lot of breathing room because Patient does not have to worry about battling Keith Brown down the sideline. But now it's up to, like, Zach Patient has the ball right now.
100%. And they're down by 3 points, right? So he can't sit there and play defensively, right?
Yeah.
If they want to win this.
Well, he does have to worry about Snake
Look
1.
Look at this move, Matt.
Oh, Brian Smith
What a
comes through,
move.
stitches up.
Gets all 3
Zach
of them.
Patient, he dunked on Ryan, shoots Smith. That's going on the list. Pate Smith Law gives out $500 in the prelims and $1,000 on Sunday for move of the tournament, and that's on the list. Brian Smith.
And that's playing proactively, right? Like, Infamous was just sitting back there, locking up, and Brian's like...
And they have the lead. Damage has the lead. Brian does not have to make that move.
Nope.
The coolest thing about that, though, is some of the things that you can't teach, right? Well, you can, but it's hard to learn for some guys to use in the moment. But as Brian Smith, he uses the center structure. He uses the big Hertz bunker to block out the Dorito side to come shoot Ryan Hall out of the little wing, and then uses that temple in the Snake over there behind him to continue to block out Callie to shoot the Snake Eye. He could have just ran all the way down, bunkered out the Snake, but then he'd find himself in no man's land, unprotected.
Spinning around, looking for
as soon as he
targets.
turns around, he's already using that Snake side temple to play against Callie Rudolph and shoot him.
Yeah, that was a perfect all-star move. Great job, Brian Smith. So jumping into this next one here, very close game. Uprising beating Houston Heat, 9 minutes on the clock. So
Uprising with the advantage here, Matt, 5-on-4.
So another high body situation for Uprising.
Houston Heat does take the Snake, though, Matty.
Yeah, Connor Kelly on a secondary gets into Snake 1. He's going to get some help with Monville. Monville gets out into the tower as Uprising flies out to the corner. Now, these back bunkers are in set a little bit, so you can't really gun battle down the sideline. Yeah, it's a soft corner, meaning that bunker is in set into the field slightly, and that gives Connor Kelly some breathing room if there's no one in the Snake with them.
Yeah, Ryan Moorhead does take that Dorito 1 on the break. Chad George gets shot coming Snake way, so 5-on-4 advantage. It was getting tight in the back there, but able to create some space.
Well,
Uprising gets out to the corner and gets out of that double back center.
And Uprising's looking like they want to just sit on their lead, right? They're up points. They just want to get to their spots and shoot their guns, but they need to reposition. They lose their first player out of back center on that bounce shot.
Yeah, that's a bit of a tough death. You got the lead. You're playing Heat. You just got a body into Snake 1. So there's Snake 1 on your screen. Trying to keep Connor Kelly honest at Snake 2. Connor Kelly talking it up with Sam.
Shane Howe coming across, getting into the Snake. Holland walking off for Uprising. Fedorov, Moorhead, Monville, and Connor Kelly for Houston Heat. Shane Howe in Snake 1.
Yeah, almost got the snappy there. Shane Howe and Connor Kelly exchanging down the Snake tape.
I think that's Joel Eaton behind him in the Snake for Uprising.
Houston Heat, looks like Ryan Moorhead gets out to the Dorito corner. He's going to look to try to push up that Dorito side.
Well, Connor Kelly just gunfought his way here into Snake 3. Put Shane in, made the move up to the next notch. And again, that's just a little cake. So he's protected down the sideline there. Now has to worry about a little bit more as he gets into Snake 4.
Yeah, should have got out of that bunker earlier when he had a chance. 4-on-3 advantage now for Houston Heat. Shane Kelly gets the elimination in the center of the field.
Yeah, with that loss of that body, Shane Howe gets up another notch of the Snake. Does have that back player behind him, but that can gets a little tough in there if you're the only body on that side. And they're up in the snake, which Connor Kelly is, so.
Yeah, I think Uprising has the advantage over here being in that corner.
And corner and snake, right?
If they could put in Sam Monville, Shane Howe could go to work one-on-one with Connor Kelly.
And if that player in that can over there, if they got pressure off him just a second, he can get out to that Dorito, they can hold the whole field from those spots.
Yeah, Fedorov, Moorhead over there pushing that Dorito side. Here comes Moorhead up 1.
42.
Yeah, again,
and it's Houston Heat.
The death comes out of that can. Tough to live in that can in this situation. Houston Heat pushing the issue. There's no one, they're not looking at anybody in front of them on that D side. Just, the 2 bodies left here for Uprising with 6:15 to go. So it's a 2-on-4 situation in favor of Heat to try to tie this ball game up.
And there goes Eaton. It's just Shane Howe now. And here's the thing about Uprising, right? Win the break, and then just lose every single guy one by one out of their spots.
Yeah. Well, and they had good positions to start with, but they didn't reposition into better positions, so they were just kind of waiting with Houston Heat on the outside of both tapes to start dinking those guys out of the middle.
As Konstantin Fedorov goes in, hits the buzzer. It's a thumbs up from the referee. 5:41 in this. Going to be a tie ball game.
2-2. I mean, Heat's looking scrappy out there. They're losing breaks, getting some penalties here and there, but staying in focused and fighting. So that's good to see if you're a Heat fan. And then Uprising is just squandering a few opportunities out here, but also creating some opportunities.
They're doing a really good job on the breakout. They're just not doing a great job of after the breakout.
In the pits with Houston Heat. Let's listen in real quick.
They're shooting it, but they were behind it low that time. This is the time to do it with the time we have left. If you want to.
Oh, maybe they're getting a little weird out there.
Yeah, Coach Smith going with a tablet these days. No clipboard, huh? Jumping into this next one here, big lead for Tampa Bay Damage with about 4:20 on the clock. Looks like Keith Brown, they're going to go offense too. Keith Brown, snake one off the break. Took a bouncer though.
Yeah, hard bounce going in there.
And they're still doubling up that
Zach
back
a little too much.
Center. So it looks like Zach Patient will be taking the walk from trying to attack snake two, and they lose Silberg on that top side, the D side.
53, Matt.
Yeah.
Infamous with a good spread, but down by 2 bodies here.
Well, this is where, in a 5-on-3 situation, already down by 4, Infamous in the bracket of death, really needs to be careful to not take a big mercy rule loss in this situation.
And that's kind of the way it looks like it's going, right?
Yeah. And you can't lose confidence either, right? Damage is a good team. They're coming off the last event where they didn't play well. You ran into a team that was hungry, prepared, ready to go, right?
It is tough, though, right? You come out to your first match. I'm not saying they're going to get goose egg, but you come out to your first match, no matter who you're playing, you get goose egg. You're like, hey, listen, everything we did was wrong. Nothing we did worked. So I don't care what you have to say, right? Everything we did, we have to scrap. We have to start over. Let's watch what the other teams are doing because nothing we figured out worked.
And I was hearing good things from Infamous.
Oh, I heard the same thing. I
session.
talked to Joey this morning. He's like, yeah, we heard good things.
Well, Infamous, they're pushing the issue. They got 3 bodies spread across the field. Ryan Hall past the 50-yard line.
Oh,
looking for kills. He does get the kill on Keith Brown. So Ryan Hall making a count past the 50 onto Damage's side. Damage playing on their heels now. A little desperation run back to the tower. Does he make it clean? Referee going to run in and give him a check. Callie Rudolph pushing the issue here on the snake side with the chaos caused by Ryan Hall up the middle. And he takes some ground. He's almost at the 50-yard line too. And they're also at D3.
Yeah, 4-on-3. Infamous pushing down on bodies. Tampa Bay Advantage lose another Matty, 3-on-3.
And I might be writing Ryan Hall's name down on the plays of the prelims list, as he's just got a 2-pack so far, and he's hunting up that middle. We'll see if Barrett and Rudolph can play off the chaos that Ryan Hall's causing right now, but it looks like the back center clips out Callie Rudolph as he tries to get past the 50-yard line, but Ryan Hall is still alive. All the way on Damage's side, he's at that white tower, looking to run through to try to finish this point off with 2 minutes and 18 seconds left to go. Joe Barrett's going to get in the game. He gets past the 50, and he's now pushing the issue to try to pinch out that back center. Joe Barrett tries to get across. He gets taken out by Marky Ireland, though.
Yeah, it's 1-on-1 now, Matty.
One-on-one situation. Ryan Hall. Marky's going to launch and might be getting a drop in on Ryan, and he does. So in all that chaos, Ryan Hall got at least 3 kills, and it looked like he was really stepping it up, and I thought that Ryan was going to put their first point on the board, but nice save by Marky.
Yeah, absolutely right there.
And Callie getting shot at a snake was huge, too.
That was on the back center.
Yeah.
Markey was at the tower.
Okay.
But, yeah, I think that was Smith at the back center.
That was crucial.
So, yeah, that was a huge kill on Callie Rudolph, but
Ryan Hall is fired up in the pits.
I mean, I would too if I just ran through, got a 3-pack. He was basically untouchable until Markey pulled off that nice little rope-a-dope on him. And Markey just sitting there waiting, eyes at the scoreboard, waiting for the concession. So Infamous is either going to let the minute and 17 seconds tick off the clock or just wait for a little bit more time to go to concede. Again, don't want to take that big blowout loss. But this is already a blowout loss. I mean, unless they score one here and pull it back a little bit, but...
Good point for Markey, get that confidence, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Joey's got a lot of confidence in him. It's good to see he's got some confidence himself.
That's why you got a bench, man. You know, I mean, you have to be an amazing paintball player to play on Tampa Bay. It's going to be a long tournament, so get some of his starters a rest. Much closer game in this Heat Uprising match, and not a lot of time left in this one either. In the pits with Tampa Bay.
So these are those moments that Uprising struggles with, right? They had a lead. They're playing a good team. They've been winning breakouts, right? Can they come through in this type of game? Houston Heat's been in this situation a million times, right? A lot of times come out on the winning end.
Yeah.
Uprising, if you're going to go far, if you're going to get better, these are the type of games that you have to win.
Yeah, and look, when you look at the schedule and match up against Houston Heat in game 1, and then you're in this situation, just like you said, if Uprising can pull off this victory, that's a huge mental momentum burst for them to move into to play their next 3 games.
Yeah. Well, it looks like...
Did they take off? Yeah, the scoreboard has just changed.
Yeah, I don't know if that's correct, but you can also see they got Olsen coming back, Arnold coming back, Holland, Borromeo, and Eaton, right? That last point, they switched out their squads, right? Like...
Daniel's got some spins. Hal's got some spins.
Yep, they're playing a lot of guys, trying to figure out
Scotty Knight.
Who's gonna get the job done here. But, this is their starting lineup.
Yeah, it looks like we might be on some sort of review as the clock has stopped. This is a big moment for Heat, too. They've been staying in it, fighting through some treacherous situations.
That's what I'm saying. Is it Heat that steps up or Uprising that steps up at this point? Momentum seems to switch back to Heat, but we'll see.
Remains to be seen.
This breakout's going to tell us where the momentum is right now.
Yeah. So so we got Monville, Harmon, Connor Kelly, Mishka Kesnev, and Ronnie Dizon. Looks like Mishka and Ronnie going to be going D side. Harmon, Kelly, and Monville, center snake side.
Tyler to the snake, do you think? Oh, no, it looks like Tyler's going to go up the middle.
Yeah, I think he likes going to that little temple and working his way back to the tower.
Connor Kelly's going to go to the temple. So a good
Tyler
5-on-5 break at least to start. Yeah, referee checking out Tyler as Mishka launches up that middle to get to the Hertz brick.
5-on-5, Maddie.
5:25 to go.
Uprising makes the corner.
Yeah, makes it clean.
So Uprising does shoot one, but bounces. That's a huge bounce there.
That's you shoot Tyler in the break. It's a difference in a lot of points.
100%.
5-on-5. Houston Heat still trapped in the pocket.
Mishka now crawling up to the 50-yard line wedge up towards the D side of the field, staying as low as possible.
Yeah, it's a little different position for him. Usually he's in that 2 position, kind of locking down the side. They've got him more as the attacker over there, trying to lock down the middle / snake.
It's a better field position here in our eye in the sky for Houston Heat there from the red side. Mishka, yeah, like Rich was saying, trying to lock down that snake. They get a body out wide.
Sam fills out to the corner for Houston Heat. He's going to try to put Connor Kelly in to the snake, and there goes Connor Kelly into the snake. Sam Monville inside of him. Tyler repositioning from the temple into the tower. They've already kind of established their look over here. That's their package, snake side, Sam, Tyler, and Kelly, and that's a strong package.
Uprising going to match it by getting into the snake with Eaton. Fills up from the corner.
Yeah. Uprising's leaving that player in the back center for too long. That back center is super vulnerable to blind shots and bounce shots, and there's not a lot of good shots snake side.
We're in set 1. We've already seen a decent amount of guys die out of that back center.
Might as well just get out of there. Tyler Harmon now going into the snake. Oh, almost cut off Sam Monville there. So Houston Heat with 3-player snake side. Sam Monville in the corner, Tyler Harmon snake 1, and Connor Kelly up in snake 4.
Well, the intention for Houston Heat has been offense. They launch early with Mishka up the middle to kind of set the tempo and the pace. Connor Kelly gets in the snake. He's now up into snake 4. And Tyler Harmon with that nice little retreat to get out wide, just perfect so far. And then Sam Montville's going to cut back to the tower. So just love the look here from Houston Heat so far. 5 bodies alive.
Yeah, and I don't like the look for Uprising. They cannot hide in the back line here against Houston Heat. If Houston Heat takes all the 50s, that back line gets real thin real fast.
Yeah, that Dorito can's going to get super small.
He's the first one to die. That'll be the can of the death for this event. Watch.
I mean, he's already playing it like it's getting small. He's down on his
had
knees.
a couple checks.
So yeah, they have the tower, back 3 in the pocket, and then Snake 1 for Uprising. As Connor Kelly's going to get past the 50-yard line here in the Snake with again Tyler right behind him at Snake 2. Mishka's still at that wedge. And there goes the tower. So Olsen getting shot out of the tower. Yeah, just much more proactive for Houston Heat. And then another death for Uprising. And
5 on 3.
Looking like this should be curtains. Still 3 bodies left alive, but they're in a real tough positions here.
Yeah, it's just that mental game. I feel so much for Uprising. Right? They just didn't want to make any moves. Wanted to try and win gunfights. If they don't win that break, it seems like it's difficult for them to win these points.
Well, and they don't leave their primary bunkers, right? They start at the same spots they die in, right? They've got to get in better spots.
Well, they'll have one guy make it to a secondary and then post up.
Everybody watches that guy.
Whereas, Houston Heat out. I mean, so Mishka starts in the back, glides up to the Hertz can, and then knew exactly where he was going to go to the wedge, right? And then what does he do? Immediately starts zoning up. He's protecting that Snake. And then after 5 or 6 moves, again, thinking proactive, playing on their toes, making all these nice moves, staying alive, playing crisp. It was just perfect from
Tyler
Houston
makes
Heat.
2 or 3 moves to get in the Snake. Sam makes 2 or 3 moves to get to the corner, protect those guys.
Yeah.
It's definitely. And you can, like, if you get the Dorito 1 in the corner, you can hold bodies off, right? But if you're trying to hold off a decent amount of bodies, no one in those center bunkers can live when the Snake and the Dorito are both hot. Those bunkers get real small, and you either die on one side or the other.
Well, I think Uprising, their opportunity on that last point was to go down that Dorito side, right? Heat had a body, Mishka over there looking this way, 3 bodies over here on the Dorito side, or on the Snake side, as another treacherous break for Infamous. They lose 2 bodies.
52.
Or is it 3 bodies?
Tampa Bay damage 5, Infamous 2.
And there goes another one.
If I had to guess, I would think that Tampa would probably win this point.
Looks like it's just Joe Barrett here.
Yeah, 55 seconds left, but, man, they're trying to go for this Mercy Rule win. It's a 6-point Mercy Rule here in the pros. Sure. Yeah, they're going to get it.
Man, Tampa Bay damage looks good.
Flawless.
That's why we wore the blue shirts, okay?
It is.
Well, because we figured either them or Dynasty would be doing well. Or Shock,
Hey, Shock's blue, too.
One of the blue teams. We're definitely going for the blue team. Or New York.
NYX.
Hey!
Like they got a lot of black in their jerseys, though.
Well, that's super racist, bro.
No, it's just, a little bit of blue in there, too. So, Tampa Bay damage getting checked out by the ref. Looks like that was sort of a thumbs up, but... So, yeah, 6-point, just complete demolishment of Infamous. Really thought this one was going to be a close game with all the good things that we were hearing about Infamous's practice sessions and how good that roster is. They didn't get picked apart in the offseason. Looked pretty solid in Vegas and just got completely shut down by damage. What a big statement from Tampa Bay.
Well, and Infamous doesn't have an easy road going forward from here, right? Like, they've got other tough teams in their bracket. They've got to now go win with a -6.
Well, they play Diesel next, and talking about a team that is going to be out for blood at this one, it's Diesel, the only team that didn't win a game at the first event, and a team with one of the highest payrolls of any team, so they need to have a good performance.
That's definitely the most talented team that has struggled the most to kind of find their footing, right? The most talented group of players that's taken the longest amount of time to become a team, right? They have all the talent. Just got to figure it out.
But this is good to see. You look in Tampa Bay damage pits, listen to this. They're talking angles. They're talking moves. They're not just patting each other on the back. Hey, great job, boys.
Break it down, break it down, break it down.
I can't see that gap. So he made it into the alpha. And so he put me in as he's running saying Shark Week 5 or Shark Week the alpha. And then so he put me in, I rolled to the inside. He's going to go. Jason's running down, paint's coming everywhere. Yeah.
Marky's one of those dudes that when he talks intensely, his neck veins just start throbbing.
Uprising, Houston Heat getting out to the field.
It's good to see Marky still out there playing.
Yeah, I liked him better when he had a gold grill. Got a little older, less gold grill.
It's way bigger than he used to be back in the day when he was a kid.
100%.
Yeah, he's like 3 Markies from when he was a kid.
For sure. He used to be the skinny, mouthy kid from South Florida. Now he's like
With a
the
grill.
jacked old dude
Yeah.
from South Florida.
I like that.
I've
though,
seen
you know?
some things.
Yeah,
I've seen some
He
things.
grew up. He matured. He got another opportunity to play here on Tampa Bay Damage, and he's getting spins out there.
Yeah, and-
you know,
and-
it's not easy to get spins from Joey Blue.
No.
So, you know, you got to give him a lot of respect for that, right? He's stuck with it. You know, was gone for a little bit, came back, but he was definitely a rage guy for a little while.
Yeah.
You know.
No, yeah, it's a cool paintball story for sure. So, yeah, Tampa Bay Damage looking like one of the favorites here. See, can Uprising get back in this match? Don't have a lot of time to work with here. Houston Heat has fought through a few low body situations and a slight 1-point lead. Gonna have Notorious taking on AC Diesel and Revo and Blast Camp. So we'll see the first teams, Revo and Blast Camp from bracket D, and Notorious AC Diesel in the bracket of death, bracket C.
He digs out to the snake corner. Gets out there live.
2:30 to go.
5-on-5, guys. Mishka leads up the center. Uprising losing her first attacker there in the South Electrics bunker.
Yeah, it was Olsen got double tapped actually out of that South Electronics tower.
He caught all that.
Yeah, I think Connor Kelly dove into that corner and then popped up and roasted him in the face.
Houston Heat with a good crossfield spread. They are going to be losing Mishka, so Mishka getting shot after getting up to that wedge.
And that's the bounce shot off of that pin right next to that wing, Matty. It comes in hard and fast, and you just can't live on that corner if they dial it in.
So far we've seen that bounce shots in the back center, and the bounce shot that shot Keith
Yep.
in the first set. So it's a lot of bounce shots here in set one.
Pretty soon we'll just be shooting bounce shots. Like the new meta will be, you don't actually gunfight, you just shoot bounce shots.
4-on-4 situation. Connor Kelly hitting the deck and crawling up into Snake 3. Looks like he's going to go right into Snake 4.
Yeah, I like that when he gets in there, he goes forward. Doesn't just sit in that inside snake cut at Snake 1 where you can't really shoot at anybody. Houston Heat losing Simon Monville from the D side, Matty. So 3-on-4 advantage here for Uprising.
You know, and with just a one point separating these two teams, Uprising needs to identify the high body situation, find a way to dunk on Connor Kelly.
Yeah, exactly.
And in a minute and 20. So
They got to get Connor Kelly off the field. Isolate Sam Monville.
Ooh,
Ronnie in that corner.
Connor Kelly missing his crossfield shot on D4. I think that was Graham Arnold that maybe snuck in there. And then Connor Kelly gets pinched out.
Yeah.
This is a chance for Uprising. It's a 4-on-2 situation.
And with that lead, he probably should just hit, right?
They just didn't know he was there.
It's Dizon and Tyler again as the two bodies left alive.
Big advantage here, though, in the snake for Uprising. If he just got down low, he could crawl all the way in and shoot Tyler right in the back, and Tyler wouldn't even know.
They got 50 seconds to figure it out here.
I don't think they're going to do it.
It's a 4-on-2. They own the snake. They're in D2.
They have every opportunity.
The middle's open.
Well, they're going now. They went up to the middle. Now he's going down the snake. They're not doing it like there's only 40 seconds left, right?
Down to 33 seconds as they're at the 50 and on every side of the field. Middle, snake, D side, now past the 50, attacking. As Graham Arnold's going to launch, and he tries to get through the gap of Tyler Harmon to dunk on Ronnie Dizon. Dizon gets peeled off, and here comes Joel Eaton as he's going to stitch up. Tyler Harmon also gets shot by Holland, and Holland's going to hit the afterburners to get in with just 14 seconds left to go. We're going to have a tie game.
Overtime.
Well, I'm wondering here with 14 seconds left, Houston Heat, they got Chad Boucher, Mr. 7-second point out there. Are they going to try to steal this one? Now, with the way this middle is, there's no clean, straight run to the buzzer. You have to get and jump over the pins. We're not going to see a 7-second point out here.
Nothing impedes the Leopard King, Matty.
Yeah.
Okay? No center structure shall impede the
Will
Leopard
ever slow down
The Leopard King.
the Leopard King.
All right?
Yeah, when I saw him.
You ever see a leopard run at a tree and be like, oh, crap, a tree.
Oh, no.
Maybe I should go around.
What do I do?
Yeah,
I
no.
don't know what to do.
Over
with
the
this.
tree.
You bound.
I hope I see it.
Bound.
Through the jungle, Matty.
I mean, throw the Leopard King out there, Chad Boucher.
You know?
See
You
what
wanna win?
he's got.
Yeah. Let Chad Boucher spin.
Yeah, he hasn't come in yet, has he?
No.
Perfect point to bring him in. They'll never
Perfect
expect
time.
it.
They will never see it.
Mr. I mean, on this field, it's probably Mr. 9 seconds, right?
Yes.
Instead of 7 seconds, but yeah.
7.5.
Something under 10.
I am wondering, as this is always one of those questions that we ask, what is the possibility for the fastest point you could put up with this layout? Knowing you have that big center structure, you have to either jump over or get around.
And you can shoot guys on the break here, right? So you can, if you get a couple key kills, you can do a 20-second point. It's just, like you said, you're jumping over or running around things.
Yeah, and if guys do make it out wide, you
not.
can't keep guys in that back center very long because this back center has already been kind of garbage.
If they take the
Set
two
one.
corners, if they get alive to the two corners and look inside, you're not winning a fast point.
Yeah, you're winning a fast point if you shoot a couple bodies on the break.
100%. Yeah. And they catch a major.
That
That helps.
Hey, instant swing point under 60 seconds. That would
Baby.
definitely help.
Oh, there he is, baby, the deuce.
Oh, sure. Now you bring in the big gun, right? Now when the back's against the wall, you go to the big guns. Hey, we're tied up. It's over top. Give me the big gun. Leopard King.
How many odds is he
about
on
to
his
feast? I would say 1.
Well, these guys got a couple. What's on the clock? 11 seconds?
I think I saw 14.
I saw 14, but I heard Jason yell 11, so I think maybe
okay.
a couple seconds ticked off.
Don't be giving out my sources.
Sorry.
Most likely going to see an overtime point here in set 1, day 1. And there he is, the Leopard Assassin, Chad Boucher, running up that middle. They're going to shoot from the back center here. They're going to launch Moorhead to the tower. And with just 8 seconds on the clock, yeah, most likely. Here comes Houston Heat. They're going to try it. Got to be careful not to get that major. Red flag major is a swing point under 60 seconds, and that is going to do it. So Houston Heat, little attempt up the middle, but we're going to be having an overtime point here, tied 3-3.
At least they tried, you know?
So next set, after the conclusion of this overtime battle, Houston Heat and Uprising, they're going to be Notorious and AC Diesel, and Revo and Blast Camp. Revo had some really good looks at the first event. You know, they lost some of their core longtime members and still made a Sunday. Ended up losing to X Factor in a very close match in the wild card round. But they went 3-1 in the prelims, beating Uprising, Fit, and the ML Kings. Only lost in the prelims for Revo was Houston Heat. So they haven't played Blast Camp this season yet.
Who were you talking about?
Revo.
That was Revo.
And
yeah,
then,
they had some nail biters out there in Vegas, kind of, it seemed like.
yeah, especially that one on Sunday.
I think Revo's a team that's going to get better throughout the year, too, right?
Well, the thing is, Rich had brought up Weaver. Weaver is dealing with a little bit of an injury, so we'll see how much that's going to affect him. Could be a great snake for Caleb Abel. I like Benny Carroll in the scramble. He keeps getting better and better. They have a pretty good roster.
That's what I'm saying.
Bowen's into attacker.
The continuity of their roster, I think that's going to help them be better and better. I like their coach.
They're very talented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the coach is great. Like Jeffrey.
I feel like Mike has a hard time like getting his point across. You know what I mean? Like I feel like he has a
He's
lot
just
to
not
say.
eloquent enough?
He has a lot to say and doesn't get a chance to say it, right? And I feel if those guys would let him talk a little bit more, that they would learn a lot faster.
100%.
So Uprising with a big opportunity to get an upset win in Game 1 here against Houston Heat. And it has been an interesting game. Uprising has won some breaks, squandered a couple opportunities. Houston Heat fought back and just, tied 3-3. Tough one to call. I mean, obviously, with their historical record, got to give this one to Houston Heat, but this would be a big moment for Uprising.
5-on-5, Maddie.
Yeah, 5-on-5 break, throwing 5 minutes on the clock.
Ryan Moorhead up the center to the Hertz bunker, looking trio side for Houston Heat.
The thing that does bode well, regardless of whether or not they win or lose, is I like the coordinated attack we're seeing from Houston Heat.
They know how to play this field.
Yeah, Uprising is playing scrappy. They're winning more breaks, but
they're just playing their style of paintball on this field, where Houston Heat is playing this field.
Yeah. You can tell Houston Heat did their homework on this, for sure.
Or somebody did it for them.
They've also had a couple inopportune deaths for Houston Heat.
But first match of the weekend, right?
Yeah. So it looks like Uprising is going to match up the middle.
I hate the 2 bodies in the back center for Uprising. I feel like one of those guys is going to get dinked out and let the team down.
Yeah, Moorhead going to the Dorito side of the center.
Olsen's up there with them.
Yeah, Olsen's up in the middle, and I think Houston Heat saw Olsen go in. Then they called it out to Moorhead, so I tried to make a move to get Olsen out of the middle. Houston Heat's been doing a good job of getting into Snake first this match. And there goes Olsen. Olsen's going to get shot on the inside, I believe, from Connor Kelly. But everybody else from Uprising still in their primary spots.
Yeah, Houston Heat still in the pocket. They got the flying V with Ryan Moorhead in the front, Connor Kelly behind him in the temple.
And they let Uprising get out. 2 secondary moves here for Uprising. Ooh, the tower might have got clipped. No, I think that might have came off the bunker. But they make it out wide to the back bunker and to the tower here, Snake side.
That's a good field. They've got to keep Connor Kelly out of the Snake, right? They can't let him get in the Snake and the Tyler reposition back to that tower.
Connor's thinking about it, man. And there he goes.
Yeah, that sucks for Houston. Yeah, there we go. Well, we know exactly what's going to happen on this side of the field with Houston Heat.
Yeah, Uprising, they won by getting out on that Dorito side.
And going up that.
Right, and then they elect not to run out there, not to risk the body. and keep them back. Now they got to win these gunfights. They haven't been able to stop the snake.
Yeah, if you can't contain the snake side, you can't stay in those bunkers, right? You've got to get out and down the Doritos.
Yeah, this is not a field that you're going to be winning it from the backfield once you've given up the real estate. Another body coming off for Uprising.
Yeah, 5-on-3 advantage for Houston Heat here. 2 players in the snake. Tyler Harmon backing those 2 players up in the snake tower.
Yeah, Connor Kelly in a real good position in Snake 4. Moorhead's been up in that middle the entire overtime point so far.
Yeah, Uprising just doesn't understand what they need to do on that D side of the field right now. They've got that guy playing that defensive position in that can. There was never an attacker on the D side for Houston Heat, and so he just had his gun that way the whole time, just kind of waiting to die from the snake side.
Yeah, Connor Kelly's been pretty gun dominant in this snake as well, too, winning the majority of his gunfights. Not necessarily shooting the guy all the time, but just being present with that gun out.
Yeah, absolutely. Nobody really wanted to gunfight. Connor Kelly heads up over here in the snake. He's had a lot of freedom. He's had protection. Uprising, again, just trying to win gunfights out of their primaries, you know, maybe making that bump out to the corner.
Ryan Moorhead on the bounce shot gets eliminated.
Oh, that's a really huge kill for Seattle. Uprising right now with 2 minutes left in this overtime period.
At 4-on-3 now. If they can just hold off and take this over to 1-on-1s, then it's going to be an amazing day.
That's definitely going to help.
It's just a big option off the field right now.
Yeah, the Wink Link is still the guy in the Dorito can, though, for Uprising. He's just waiting to die over there. As soon as they can attack him from the corner and the snake at the same time, he can't live there.
Yeah, Monville getting closer to Connor Kelly with Tyler Harmon at the tower behind him. Connor Kelly is going to get up past the 50-yard line here, Snake. And then he's trying to put the pinch on that can.
Tyler's calling the timeout down there so his guys know how much time they have.
Minute and 27 seconds to go. Yeah, Connor Kelly on your screen trying to get it done here for Houston Heat. Uprising kind of dug in a bit, playing on their heels.
Yeah, if Graham Arnold gets shot, then it's going to be big trouble.
Yeah. If Graham could have got out to that Dorito, they would have been able to easily stem the tide. But
It's tough on that D side. It's hard. It's a tough run, but that can is not great. It's not a great spot in this situation. And he is tucked in that can as much as he possibly can. He's actually down on his knees. He's pushing into that can.
That's what we call a transitional bunker.
But here comes Eaton. Eaton cuts on the inside to try to trade out with Tyler Harmon. Tyler begging for a penalty, not going to get it. The ref is going to run in and pull out Connor Kelly as well, too, with 48 seconds left to go as Holland gets into the snake for Uprising. So it's just Monville on the snake side and Konstantin Fedorov.
Right? 3-on-2 advantage Uprising. They should be pressing this advantage.
Yeah, that was a great move from Joel Eaton.
Yeah, Joel Eaton made a great move. They just didn't capitalize on it.
Yeah, 2-on-2 situation. As Graham Arnold is going to finally get shot out of that can, so now it's a 2-on-1 in favor of Houston Heat. See if they can get the drop in on Holland. They only have 25 seconds. I mean, Holland's got to be careful. He's popping the top, going right into Monville's gun. Oh, Holland's going to put Monville back in, and here comes Konstantin Fedorov. But as Holland switches inside, Monville doesn't even get shot, and he's going to have enough time to steal the win here in overtime with about 7 seconds left to go. Nicely executed in a very chaotic close from Sam Monville and Konstantin Fedorov here for Houston Heat in a come-from-behind victory.
Great point for Houston Heat there. They would control that, and they had the field advantage and the body advantage the whole time. Talked to each other really, really well. Got a couple bad deaths, but we're still able to just advance up the field, apply the pressure, and get that win. Crucial.
Hey, that's a good win for Heat. Come from behind, scrappy victory. Uprising does not look bad, though. They did squander a couple opportunities, but hanging with one of the best teams in the world. It's going to do it here for set one. Tampa Bay Damage get the big 6-0 Mercy Rule shutout victory over LA Infamous. Next up is going to be Notorious taking on AC Diesel and Revo and Blast Camp. I'm Eddie Marshall Hill, Rich Telford, and Todd Martinez on Go Sports. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll be right back.